Welcome to Concentrated Chaos with your host. It's me, it's Rusty. And for those of you who know me, I'm Rusty. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm Rusty. All right, we got episode 2 coming out today. One thing I wanted to talk about, got an interesting phone call today. This is the second kind of phone call I've gotten about this, and I haven't done well with how it's made me feel. So a little worried about the third one, but yeah. So we have a lawsuit in the real estate industry. If anybody follows real estate, you probably don't outside of real estate, or outside of being in the real estate industry, but there's a big lawsuit against the National Association of Realtors. I believe it's in Iowa. Let me pull it up here. Some home sellers got together and sued the National Association of Realtors for inflating commissions and basically creating an anti-competitive, or inflating home prices, and creating an anti-competitive environment in the real estate industry. And NAR lost at this point. They did like I think it was like a $1.8 billion verdict that they did for the plaintiffs. And in Iowa, I believe it's in Iowa. I don't remember exactly. I think it's Iowa. But in Iowa, they do treble damages. So it's almost a $6 billion penalty towards the National Association of Realtors. So, and I'll probably go through that at some point, and just to kind of break down what that looks like, and why maybe it's not a terrible idea for a seller to pay for a buyer's agent commission in addition to the selling commission, but that's a topic for another day. What we will talk about is the phone calls that I've been getting. I've got 2 now from agents, and this is the gist of how they go. All right, and they go, ring, ring, and I go, hello, this is Rusty, and they go, hi, this is Sally Shithead from ABC Brokerage. And I go, hi, Sally Shithead. I've heard of you. And then they go, oh, you're listing on Main Street. That's not in our local MLS, right? And I said, no, it's in the statewide MLS. Which, sidetrack, if you're not familiar with that, so there's, for most people, when you go look at a property, you go to like Zillow or, Redfin, Realtor.com, that kind of stuff. And so all of the data from there isn't put directly into Zillow. It's sent there through our MLSs. That's where we put in our listings. When we put them in the MLS. MLS sends the data to Zillow and shows all the information there for people who don't have a license, because you need to have a real estate license in order to be in an MLS. And so there's one big one in Colorado. It's RE Colorado, and that covers the entire state. But that's not the only MLS in Colorado. There's a ton of other ones. I think there's 17, if I remember right. And, there's like one for northern Colorado. That one's called Iris. There's one for Pueblo, and that's through the Pueblo Association of Realtors. There's one for, Steamboat. There's one for, the San Juan area. I mean, there's a number, Grand Junction, that kind of stuff. And so you don't necessarily have to have a listing in a local MLS in order to get it in front of people who are looking in that area. Because if you put it in RE Colorado, that covers the entire state. So anyways, back to the phone call. Notice that, this is Sally Shithead talking. We noticed that your this listing for 123 Main Street isn't in our MLS. And yeah, I know. I understand. Well, are you going to put it in there? No, I'm going to keep it in RE Colorado. Okay. Well, my first question about it is are you paying a buyer's agent commission? And that took me back to, kind of stunned me a little bit. The first one I just kind of said, well, yeah, pretty standard listing. And the second one, man, after I thought about it, after the first phone call like that, I was like, man, that's the first question out of your mouth about the property is, are you going to pay me? Like, that is insane to me. That shows me where your priorities lie, which is not to help your client. It's you're worried about whether you get paid or not. And that is the exact type of agent that I am doing everything I can to run out of business. Those are the kind of agents that, give realtors a bad rap, and deservedly so, because there's a lot of really shitty agents out there. Or is it maybe used car salesmen and like lawyers are maybe the two less respected professions outside of a real estate agent? So, it's not undeserved, but those are the kinds of people who are only worried about their pay and what they're going to get out of it. Those are the kind of people that make me insane. So, the second lady, I just said, is whether you get paid a buyer's agent commission, is that going to affect whether you show the property or not? She goes, well, I need to know what to tell the buyer, whether they're going to have to pay me or not. It's like, but again, is that going to affect you, whether you show them the property or not? And she really wouldn't answer. She ended up hanging up on me, which I thought was fucking hilarious, because clearly she didn't actually want to know anything about the property or actually go and show it, because she was only worried whether she was going to get paid or not. And so the funny thing is with that, there was a brokerage. So there's another lawsuit actually upcoming. I'll sidetrack to that. There's another lawsuit that's an even bigger one. I think it's a class action one. That is against, I believe it's against some of the big brokerages like a KW and I don't remember exactly. I'll have to look it up, but that one I've heard phone calls from, recorded phone calls. There used to be this brokerage called Rex, and they're not around anymore as far as I know, at least not in Colorado. But they were not offering buyer agent commissions on their listings. That was their value prop, is you could sell your house for half the commission, because you didn't, as the seller, you wouldn't have to pay a buyer agent commission. And there's recordings of these agents taking, fielding phone calls from potential buyer's agents asking that same question. So you're not paying a buyer's agent commission? And, obviously they had a script for it, but the gist of their response was, well, the seller's not offering to pay a buyer agent commission, but obviously we don't want you to not be paid. So, there's some different ways that we can approach, making sure that you get paid in this. And the couple phone calls that I heard, the agent just interrupted and said, oh, I'll just tell my buyers that it's sold already. Which is, it's insane. There needs to be big change in this industry. And I hope that it's not just this industry, it's just people. It's just how people are, is kind of what I've come to realize as I've grown and matured over the last, 20 years-ish of being an adult, sort of, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes I don't feel like an adult at all. Sometimes I feel like I'm still 14 in my brain. But people are just greedy, man. And it's one thing if you're just in a regular job trying to, greed your way up the corporate ladder. But man, in this industry, we deal with people's lives. Houses are, for 99.9% of people, above and beyond the biggest purchase that they'll ever make. And that's a huge responsibility that we have. And to see how many people just completely disregard that and could not care less about actually helping their clients. And they're just in it for themselves. What can I get out of it? What can I do for me? It's a lot of people in this industry, and it's really sad. And, it's a big reason why I'm in this industry. So, yeah. So who knows what's going to happen from here? I mean, going forward, we probably have, 3 to 5 years of appeals, and you know how the justice system just moves so fast in our country. Probably have quite a few years of appeals and stuff before anything real changes. But, there's a future not far down the road where sellers don't pay for a buyer's agent. And then that's gonna make a lot of people leave this industry because they don't actually know how to do the job and provide value. We'll see. Adapt to survive. If you're not growing, you're dying. That's a call to action for all of us in this industry. I'm certainly not going to be one of the ones that's on the downslope. I've planted my flag in this industry. I'm not going anywhere. And, we'll adapt and survive. So, that's all I had for you today. I thought that was an interesting phone call. And, I'll have to think of a better way to respond for the next one, because I know I'm going to get another call for that. Just because I do a lot of business all over the state. I mean, I sell homes. This year I've sold homes in almost every corner of the state and everywhere in between. And I know that I'm going to get calls like that. And so I'm going to have to figure out a way to respond without, the homicidal rage pooling in my gut. Somehow keeping that down and not letting that out when somebody asks me that question. But anyways, that is all we have time for today. So you can find this podcast on all of the major podcast hosts, YouTube as well. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, objections, outbursts, or diatribes, please reach out and let me know. Comment on this. If you're watching on YouTube, throw us a comment. You can call me. My number, 720-384-5905. That's a direct line right to my face. We also have email rusty@rustystevenson.com. On all social medias, we are at, what am I, fucking Royal King? I am at The Realtor Rusty on all social medias. And, or you can just stop by and say hello sometime. I would love to hear from you. So thank you all for hanging in there this long. And Mr. Andy Barkowski on the guitar, who brings us in. He's going to take us out. Thank you all very much. Have a wonderful, blessed day. And have fun tomorrow. Do something fun just for you. I don't know what it is, but go have fun tomorrow. All right. Take care, y'all.